Google has lost their mind. Basically, they're giving away the crown jewels, or at least one of them anyway. So one of the exclusive things that you get with your Pixel phone, Pixel 6, Pixel 7, is, ta-da, Magic Eraser. And if you are uninitiated, you don't know what Magic Eraser is, basically, it allows you to do voodoo with your phone. So you go in, you take a picture, and let me pull it up here real quick. I'll give you an illustration live here while I'm on the phone. So I get back to the top of my photos. So when you get to your photos, here's one thing you can do. So this photo right here, I've already magic erased this photo. There used to be people standing here. And I'll find the photo where the people were standing there. So I was taking a picture, they were behind me. You can see these folks right there. Bam, bam. You go into edit. Once you're in edit, then you click on Magic Eraser. So Magic Eraser does two things. It'll find stuff that automatically it thinks could be erased from the photo, or you can just manually erase it yourself. So you see the little shadowy outline. We'll tap on this one right here, and we'll tap on both of them. Tap, tap. They're gone. Ta-da! And you save it. And then you have this photo where these people, these objects, if you're out on the beach, if you've got a beach photo, you got people out there, if you got a photo of your kid playing football or soccer and there's a couple guys down the field, you can erase them. And it uses all this crazy powerful tools and technology that Google has with machine learning, AI. It kind of substitutes and fills in and predicts what's in there in the different layer in the background, and it goes away. Well, that was a very, very coveted feature. It was one of the main reasons in the software suite that people want to go out and get a Pixel 6 or a Pixel 7. And now, anybody who wants it basically can get it. But there's a catch. You have to have a Google One subscription. And they even added in there with some additional HDR stuff when it comes to like some photo editing. There are a couple new tools that are in there. Not really going into that right now. But the big primary thing is if you've got an iPhone, if you've got another Android phone and you've got the Google Photos app on there and you sign up for a Google One subscription, ta-da, you now have Magic Eraser and you can use it on your very own phone. I mean, part of me looks back and I think, okay, this is cool. This is a neat feature that Google is allowing other folks to be able to use. But then the other part of me is like, that was kind of an exclusive thing. Why are you giving this away instead of making people buy a Pixel 6 or a Pixel 7 or presumably the Pixel 7a this summer, the Pixel 8 this fall? And also, if everything needs like the Tensor chip in your phone, then how is this something that other phones can do it? And I'm pretty sure the way that it works is it's using offsite servers to go ahead and do the heavy lifting if it's not capable of doing it on the chip on that phone, because that's something that's really been preached and touted when it comes to the Pixel 6, Pixel 7, the benefits of the Google Tensor, the optimized cores that are even higher with the GPU cores and the machine learning and the AI and all that stuff. It can do it on the phone. It doesn't have to send it to a Google Tensor server. That's in a big stack in a warehouse somewhere. So that's kind of some of the benefits you get with the Tensor chip and the Google phone. That's why it can do the voice to text straight on the phone. It's not like the iPhone where you have to you talk and it bounces it off of a server and it helps process the data and sends it back for what it thinks is the likely outcome. So there are some powerful tools and features at your disposal that you can use with a Google Pixel phone, particularly the Google Pixel 6 and the 7, really with the 7 because it has the Tensor G2 chip, which is more powerful, better, more power efficient, and really more efficient and optimized. And of course, Android is more fine-tuned for it now and programmed for than it was with the very first, and of course the onset of Android 12, which was a disaster. So, wanted to bring this to you folks to let you know, hey, get the Google Photos app. If you want to pay for a Google One subscription, go ahead. You can, and now you can get the Magic Eraser, and you can get some of the other tools and stuff for like photo editing and things like that. But I don't know. Just from a philosophical standpoint, I look at it and I go, that's kind of one of the things that lures people in. And if you're trying to compete and if you're trying to sell, like Google's not really hurting for money that much. They're not primarily a phone company. They're primarily like a big software services search engine company. Like they're basically embedded in everything. So when you look at the Alphabet company, when you look at Google, they don't rely on their phones to make sure that their paychecks get paid and that their electricity bill is turned on like some other phone companies. So when I look at it, I go, what's your strategy then? Like, if you really want people to buy these phones, why are you pawning off these features so people can get them through a service-based feature? I get it. Maybe you want the income. Maybe you want to. Maybe it's a way to do advertising. But then people are going to say, "Look, I can do this on my iPhone." Then folks will go, "Why do I need to go buy a Pixel phone then?" So I have mixed feelings about it. I'm happy that more people have access to this feature if they want to pay for the Google One subscription. But at the same point in time, what more special things are you going to give away from the Pixel tool chest, right? I mean, there's not a whole lot of extras that are out there that are exclusive features. I mean, what's next? The call screening? Are you going to get call screening if you pay for that? I mean, are we going to end up with a whole complimentary suite of all the cool Google features, and then you can just pay for it and use it on whatever, like a Moto G Plus? Anyway, so that's my thoughts on it. I want to hear your thoughts. Sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are. I love to hear your thoughts on the matter, and we can have some discussion on this because, like I said, it's always great to give people more cool things, but when you're trying to be a competitor for Samsung, competitor for iPhone, you want to be like a big boy brand selling your phones out there, and then that would be almost kind of like Apple giving away iMessage. Like, they're holding that tight to the vest. They won't let go of it. They won't open it up and let Android use it even for a service subscription cost, because they know that's one of the biggest reasons people buy an iPhone and they get locked into iPhone. So I don't think this is quite on the same level, but it's in the same ballpark when you're having this discussion. So that's all I've got. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions or comments you want to talk about it, please let's go to the comment section. We'll have it out there and have some discussion. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and a little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.